What's up, everybody? How you doing? NorbCam coming at you on this, what day is it? Wednesday today. I'm actually on my way. Just had a dentist appointment. And I don't know about you guys. It went well. I haven't had a cavity in a long time. But for me, going to the dentist is like, hold on a second, I'm gonna fix something here. There you go. Going to the dentist for me is like, it's always a cramming for an exam. What I mean by that is I'm not always the most diligent flosser in the world. And so sometimes I slack, and then I realize, oh crap, I got a dentist appointment coming up in like a week. So then I'll like cram for the exam, I'll like floss like a maniac for like the last 5 days before, as if that actually works, right? Like 6 months of neglect, and then all of a sudden make up for it in the last 6 days. I don't know. It's worked for me because I haven't had a cavity in who knows how long. But I always get the lecture. Well, you could probably floss a little bit better between the gum and the tooth there. Anyway, it's pretty funny. Yeah, I don't know if it's me laying down in that chair, when you're in that reclined position, or if it's my vertigo still hanging around. But after I got up, I was like, ooh, feeling a little bit, not major, a little bit lightheaded. So I hope it's not recurring, because if you guys have watched my other posts, I talked about how I had a bout with Saturday with vertigo. So I'm hoping that that's not rearing its ugly head. Or maybe I'm just high off the wind last night. I hope it's the latter, because man, that was so crazy. People are calling it the win of the year. And I guess with everything at stake, it's kind of hard to say that it wasn't, just because, one, it was against the Yankees, one of the best teams in baseball, and one of the most potent offenses in all of baseball. To hold them to no runs after 14 innings, even with the extra innings, automatic guy on second base, that was something else. And that game just had so much. First of all, the pitching duel with Castillo, the newest acquisition for the Mariners, watching him go up there, hard not to feel like a lot of comparisons to Felix Hernandez, just with the way he just gets in there, and it's just like solid. You feel like, okay, well, we got a legit ace on our staff, and to go toe to toe with the Yankees pitcher was awesome. And then just the way the game played out with so many crazy plays, especially the Mariners on defense, where they had so many times where I felt like they were on the ropes, and all they needed was one base hit. It looked like a base hit was happening, and then snagged it out of the air, turned into a double play, and then they have multiple runners on base, and then they pick them off, get a double play with 2 guys in a rundown. We had, I think, 3 rundowns in that game yesterday, and that was just wild. You just don't see that very often. So, and then the energy of that game with the fact that we had such a huge crowd, the fact that it was against the Yankees, the fact that we're in this intense wild card chase right now. This is what baseball is, to be in the hunt is all about. And we haven't had this. We had a little bit of taste of it last year, but really outside of that, it's been a long drought. So it's fun to see that if this could possibly go our way come into September, into October, how much electric the city would be. And of course, now switching gears, and this, the thing about baseball, before I switch to the Seahawks, it's 11:49. The game last night finished about 12 hours 49 minutes ago, maybe less. And that's the thing about baseball, is both with the victories and the losses, you can't dwell or bask in them for too long, because you got to play a game less than half a day later. In about an hour and 15 minutes, they're playing again. And so, you can only enjoy that or suffer from it if you're the losing team so long, because you got another game to play, and that's a big one. Can they get the series? Can you imagine taking for the Yankees back-to-back series if they could win that game today, winning the last series in Yankee Stadium, and then if they could win it today, that'd be huge. I feel like this is the time for Robbie Ray. Robbie Ray's got to step up and really do his thing, show the world, show the Mariners I figure where I'm going here. Oh, I can't go there. Just to show the reason why we picked him up. You know, he was last year's Cy Young winner. You know, he was supposed to be our ace. And now we're, you know, if he can get his stuff going, it'd be great to see him just be in true form and be able to take on the Yankees and get us a win today. And of course, we need the offense to step up too, because that's been our other struggle. Is as much as it was a great win yesterday, man, it took all a Herculean effort to get one run. And of course, it came from somebody you wouldn't expect it to, with all the bats that you'd expect to be the hero. Luis Torrens, probably not the name that comes on the tip of your mouth, is the tip of your tongue, is the one who you think was going to get that game winner. Thought it was going to be Santana or Suarez or Haniger, anybody up and down. But if somebody were to bet that it would have been Torrens as the hero of the game, you would not have expected that. So just cool though. It's cool that it's somebody you don't expect. So it'll be fun to see what happens here, as we're just an hour and 15 minutes away from game time. Seahawks news, excited as well, as we've got our first preseason game against the Steelers coming up on this Saturday. Looking forward to watching that, live streaming the action, and really this is, I've been saying, probably the most compelling, intriguing preseason the Seahawks have had in a long time. You know, you got quarterback duel going on. Right now it seems like they've given the starting nod. Obviously the lineups say that it's going to be Geno Smith, but you know, that's just for now, and that's just game one. That could all change depending on how this game goes, and I'm sure they'll mix it up at some point and give Drew Lock a shot. So it'll be fun to watch that. I'm excited to see the corners. The new corners have been a lot of guys, you know, a lot of movement there. Backups coming in because of injuries. So, you know, the corner position, there's a lot of talent there. But who's going to rise up and get the starting spot, I think, is completely up in the air. Nervous and excited at the same time about our offensive line. You got a couple rookies at tackle, although Jake Kern is probably the one who's starting on the right side. But we definitely have Charles Cross on left tackle starting, a true rookie starting at the most important, arguably most important offensive line position. Got a new center, and then a couple guards that we're familiar with. So I'll say this now, and I'll be saying it pretty much the entire year, is that for us to have anything close to a competitive season, we have to be able to run the ball. We've got to be able to not have to rely on the quarterbacks to do any more than be game managers, in my opinion. So we're going to have to get Rashad Penny going. Love to see what our rookie running back Kevin Walker could do with a 1-2 punch there. I'm sure we'll see a little DJ Dallas and Travis Homer from time to time, but those two are the guys that really are going to have to carry this running game with the retirement of Chris Carson. So how the line and the backs, you know, how that all works, I feel like, you know, and that's really the Pete Carroll philosophy, right? Is you run the ball and you go play action and try to score when you get your opportunities. So I'm very excited about watching what they can do. And then, of course, defensive line. I mean, really every position. There's nothing. I don't think there's a single position that doesn't have some kind of intrigue. We know that the safeties are going to be Jamal Adams and Quandre Diggs. That's probably the most stable and kind of set in stone roles. But everything else feels like, you know, who's going to rise up? Who's going to be the star? And we know DK and Tyler, of course, but who's going to be the 3 and 4 guys? You know, to be the stars. Is there going to be some established guys in there, or is there going to be some new rookies stepping up in those positions? So a lot to look forward to, a lot of fun things to watch. Of course, the last time, this is going to be an opportunity on some level for Geno to sort of exercise some of his demons. You know, it wasn't that long ago when we played Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh, and Geno Smith was in on that game when Russell was hurt. Geno Smith had an opportunity to win that game, and the game ended on a Geno Smith fumble with TJ Watt knocking the ball out of his hands. So, you know, he's got gonna have at least an opportunity to try to do some positive things and wipe that memory of that as the last play in Pittsburgh for him. So I'm sure he's chomping at the bit to try to do some stuff, even though of course it is preseason. So, but for Seattle, every game is gonna feel like a preseason game because so much is unknown. See you guys chiming in here. Sorry on these drive streams, hard to check out the comments. Sergio, Yankees pack was hitting good yesterday. Corey, what's up? The dentist is the only exam that makes me nervous. Not sure why. I don't know. I think there's a natural fear of dentists, and I had it too. It's different now. The dentist for kids now is so much fun. They have movies and headphones and this and that. And back then, it was just like walking into the horror torture chamber when it came to, as a kid, going to the dentist. I remember there was probably my worst fear going to the dentist is I knew I had to get 4 teeth pulled out in preparation for getting my wisdom teeth pulled out. So I had to lose 4 teeth in order to prepare for getting my wisdom teeth pulled out. The wisdom teeth were going to be surgically removed, so I wasn't going to be awake for that. But the 4 molars that had to be taken out in prep for that was one of the worst times, because I remember the worst is having to count it down, because you schedule these things, weeks in advance, right? So you just have to keep looking at the calendar and go, 27 days to go, 26 days, 25, and you just keep thinking about how that day's going to go. Sit in the waiting room, read your highlights magazine, which is a magazine you only read when you're at the dentist. I mean, am I right? I don't know if they still have that now. Back in the day, they had a magazine called Highlights, and it was like this kid's thin magazine. They had, like word searches, picture comparisons, just stuff like that to kill time, when all it really is a thing that tells you, it's just a countdown before you're gonna have to get your mouth up, worked on. So Highlights, that magazine alone has PTSD because you only saw it when you were waiting to go in. But yeah, counting on that 4 molar extraction, man, that sucked. And then the day before, you're thinking about it, okay, first they're gonna have to numb you up, so they gotta put the shots in you, 4 corners, at least 1 in every molar, maybe 2 if they gotta get in there. And then when you get 1, that's only 1 of 4. They pull the second one out, and I remember the first one was already hard enough. I was like, oh my God, that was crunchy, the sound, ugh. And then you get the second one out, and that's no fun. That's 2, and you go, man, I'm only halfway through. I got to repeat this process 2 more times. And then finally 3, and then you go, okay, 1 more, over. And it's done, and it's just all the bloody spit, gauze in your mouth for hours afterwards. But yeah, no fun. Luckily, I haven't had to go through that much in recent years. The worst process I've had to go through as an adult was about 10, maybe 11 or 12, actually more than that, because Sophie was only about a year or 2 old. I was probably 15 years ago. I had to get a gum graft for recession. So I don't know if you guys know what that is, but I had some areas down here and on the side here where the gum basically receded. So the gum line's supposed to be here, so you got your tooth here and the gum here. The gum went low, just a little lower than advice, and some of the root was showing. Yeah, we should really do a gum surgery process. I don't know, what does that involve? So what it involved was, I was pretty much knocked out because I don't remember everything. It was very hazy. But basically, they surgically scrape off 2 chunks of gum off the roof of your mouth, and then they attach it to the gum below here. So they had to actually kind of tear away at it so they can have better attachment. So they scrape these 2 off, take those 2 pieces, kind of scrape it open in here, prime it down here, and they surgically attach it here, and they surgically attach the other one down here. The process itself wasn't bad because I was mostly out for that, but the healing up afterwards, that was the worst, because the roof of my mouth was completely scraped open. So, and it's your mouth, you can't like put a Band-Aid on it and let it heal. So what I had to do was basically take a lot of pain medication because it hurt like a mother, and I had to wear this kind of retainer thing that covered the roof of my mouth so it wouldn't keep getting hit by stuff. But that pain, the soreness of that healing up was not fun. I hope I never have to do that again. But yeah, good to share that with you. On a funny note, for the dentist office I went to, there was one time when it was one of those most humiliating moments that only I knew about. And I was at the dentist's office. This was before I got my gum surgery done. They took pictures. They always take pictures and stuff like that. And later on, this was weeks later, I was at the dentist's office waiting. No Highlights magazine this time. I was just reading this newsletter from the office. And I'm sitting there. I'm looking, and there's a picture of something like. Make sure you floss. The reasons you need to floss, and the risks of gingivitis or something like that. And they had a picture of the bad, picture of somebody's bad teeth. Because you go to the dentist's office, they always have a poster showing like here's the different stages of gingivitis, and the last one is some really decayed, nasty-looking mouth. And it's like, ugh, I feel sorry for that poor sap. So I was looking at this picture of this example of bad teeth, and I looked close. I was like, wait a second. That's a picture of my teeth. That's a picture of my molars on this side before they did the gum surgery. I was like offended. I was like, man, you put my teeth in the picture of bad example of dental care. And of course, only I knew it, because it's not like no one's gonna look at this and go, Norb, I saw your teeth on the newsletter. But I knew it was mine. I knew the picture. I knew my teeth. I knew exactly that photo. And it was the weirdest feeling of humiliation, private humiliation ever. I never actually talked to him about it because no one's gonna care. But for me, it was just that feeling like, I can't believe they used my picture to show a bad example of bad teeth. That's it's humiliating. And yet nobody knows it's you, so it's privately humiliating. I should have saved a copy of it. I don't think I ever saved it. That would have been actually funny to look back at it now. But I told my kids about it, they're laughing. The bad poster boy for teeth. Not good. What's that dude? Oh, shirtless dude walking over there. So what the heck? But yeah, not my finest moment. That'd be like, in the doctor's office, they show pictures of like bad physique or bad backs or obesity, and somebody's got to be on it. I remember at Costco, walking around, I saw Costco there. They had a box of, I think it was Depends. Yeah, I think it was adult Depends. And I don't know if it was just for overweight size or something, but on the pictures, it's just somebody's body from like neck down to like above the knees, wearing this diaper, but they're obviously very plump. They're not in good shape. Stomach sticking out, not a becoming picture, but clearly they're marketing this as a, something for people who are not in good shape to use. And I was thinking, man, I wonder how that person feels like to be the model on that. I'm sure they got paid, but it's like the casting call. We're looking for middle-aged man, somewhere between the age of 50 to 60, not in good shape, big stomach, showing your midsection, but your face won't be shown. Apply here. Congratulations, you got the job. You were the best out-of-shape looking person. Come to the photo shoot. Strap these Depends on. Man, put that on your resume. Hey, where have you worked before? Check it out. Costco Depends. Anyway, I've gotten completely way off topic, but sorry, this is kind of how it is. First pitch, 1 hour, 5 minutes from now. Seahawks, Mariners, Yankees, Game 3, the rubber match. So you can take the series. Try to watch a little bit of it. Then I head out of town again today. Back to Concrete, Washington, up by Mount Baker to do some drone filming tomorrow. So I'm back on the road. I'm just glad I'm not the one flying. We're flying a drone, but I'm not flying. I'm just glad not to have to be in the air. But looking forward to it. It's a little gray and cloudy today. Actually, a little bit of rain earlier, but none projected for tomorrow, which would be nice. So, but yeah, there we go. I see people talking about. Do you think Drew Lock will get snaps? Man, it's so hard to predict. It's so hard to predict what's going to happen. You know, what kind of season the Seahawks could have. I keep leaning towards, I think they'll be better than people are expecting, and I think people are expecting him to have at most 5 wins. You know, 4-13. I heard kicked around. I'm sure they will lose. They will win some games that you wouldn't expect them to, and I'm sure they're going to lose some games that you think, oh, I thought they were going to win that game. But they will probably lose a lot of those games that we're expected to lose against some of those tough games. Wu-Tang Life. Play Lock. He sucks. Obviously a non-Seahawks fan or one who's hoping that the Seahawks suck really bad so we can get the number 1 pick in the draft next year. I'm not in favor of the whole, you know, tank the season so we can get the number 1 draft pick next year. Because first of all, it's never a guarantee that the number 1 draft pick is going to be the savior and the quarterback of the future for you. I mean, I think we've seen plenty of failed situations. Look at Sam Darnold. Look at even Andrew Luck, right? I mean, Andrew Luck wasn't that he was a bad quarterback, but it just really didn't work out long term. Injuries mostly. But, you know, how many number 1 picks really turn out to be as great as they're advertised? You know, I don't know the stats I have in front of me, but I can just say it's not a guaranteed 100% that you get the number 1 pick, best quarterback in the draft. Doesn't mean you're set for life and everything's going to work out perfectly. There's just no guarantee on that. So selfishly, I still want my team to still be good and competitive and keep hoping that they can do better than expected. And the goal is always to make the playoffs. But I know there's a lot of people who they would rather than having a winning record, they would rather see the Seahawks go 1-16 than say go like 9-8 or 10 or 10-7. You know, but if I had to choose between sucking and getting, you know, one of the top picks in the draft versus making it to the playoffs, are you telling me you would rather not make the playoffs so you can get the draft pick next year? I'm taking the playoffs. I don't care. I don't know how. You never know how long your opportunities are to make the playoffs. I don't know how long I'm going to be in this world. So what if I'm only going to see the Seahawks for one more season for whatever reason? Well, I want to see a playoff game and not wait forever for, you know, the perfect situation where I'm going to draft this quarterback. He's going to be the best, and then he's going to take us and we'll be good, you know. So that's just me. That's just my feeling on in terms of what I want the team to do. Just not in favor of the whole trash the season. A lot of it is because I got a lot of money wrapped up in season tickets. I'm not here to finance a no competitive, lose every game team. That's no fun. That's like 4 months of hell. I want to see some wins. I want to cheer. I want to go through what we're going through with the Mariners right now, right? See, people get so wrapped up in the end game that they don't enjoy the ride. Broncos country, that's right. Like that game last night meant something, and we're calling it the game of the year because of the fact that they're in the hunt, that they're in a wild card chase. If they were, you know, like the A's, that game wouldn't have meant really much. It would have still been a cool win, but it certainly wouldn't have had the energy. You wouldn't have had 38, 40-something thousand people there last night. And you would have missed out on that because you were hoping that, you know, let's just suck so that we can be better the next year. So, yeah, I'm not in on all that. I want to win as much as possible. I want to root for my team to win. Just don't buy into the whole suck for the draft. That whole idea sucks. So, all right, I got to run to the store here. But anyway, thanks for tuning in, you guys. Appreciate you guys watching and commenting and all that. And who knows, maybe I'll get a chance to actually react to this game a little bit. We'll see. But Norb, come back down to reality, buddy. Norb playoffs, I got some timeshares to say. You know, I know I've gone through my share of timeshares. I'm not saying we're a playoff team. Don't get me wrong. It's not like I got some delusions of we're going to be like 12-5. Believe me, my expectations are very realistic. But that doesn't mean I'm hoping that the team will try to compete, and that if there's a chance, we can win more games than lose. I'm not going to be rooting for my team to lose because I don't want them to win. If there's a chance we could win a game, we can beat the Rams in LA in a close game, I'm not going to be going, oh, just fumble in. We don't want to win this game. I'm going to want them to win. That's what I'm talking about. I will still want our team to win no matter what game we're playing, regardless of the draft that's at stake. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm talking about. Ignite Sports, is there an ETA for the prediction video? Last minute? Well, I always release it a week before the first regular season game. So if that's the case, it's going to be September 5th. I think that's the week before. So I like to have a good week for it to get out there before the first game. Yeah, a lot of work to do. It's a busy month, but I'm going to put something together. Wu-Tang Lion. He wants to suck. I want Bryce to. He wants to just tank the season and get the number 1 pick. How about this? Here's an idea. Let's root for the Broncos to completely suck, since we get their draft pick, and then they can give us the number 1 pick. How about that? Let's just have the Broncos completely implode, go 1-16. They want to run Russell out of town with the new ownership, and we get their pick, and that gets us the number 1 pick. How about that? Wouldn't that be funny? We make it to the playoffs. The Broncos completely suck. We get their pick that gives us the number 1 draft pick, and we're still in the playoffs. How about that? How about that for the craziest scenario ever seen in the NFL? That I'll pay money for. All right. I'll talk to you guys later. Time to get back to reality. Bye. Go Seahawks.